today talking to you about TIG welding for beginners. I have TIG welded in the past, but it was 35 years ago when the world was a different place. 6 months ago I decided I wanted to get back into TIG welding, and I was surprised how difficult it all looked. I looked at YouTube videos and man, it looked so hard, you know, it's like a black art. But I was doing it 35 years ago and it was part of my everyday job and I never thought anything about it. It's not a black art, it's fairly simple. It is a question of information overload, which is probably what you've been getting by looking at YouTube videos. So I'm just trying to make it simple. I have made a previous video explaining what TIG welders to buy, because I agonised over this for absolutely ages. I originally bought a new one. That new one was faulty, it only lasted a few minutes, blew up. And then I bought this. I was lucky enough to buy this Jurassic TIG in as new condition. I would not buy a 25-year-old TIG or a dirty old TIG that's on Facebook Marketplace where somebody said, oh, it worked great last time I used it. Now forget all that. Either buy a new one or buy something really good. So this is my Jurassic welder. There's nothing special about this. All modern TIGs, AC/DC TIGs, have all these same features as this. Very unusual not to have, there are no extra features, they just will work in the same way. Now I'm going to show you this. This is probably the cheapest AC/DC TIG available in the UK. And probably in America as well. It's very popular. It's called a Hitbox. This is an AC/DC TIG. Now do you notice anything familiar? Look at this. And look at this. There you've got the digital settings. There you've got the digital settings. There you've got the tuner knob, the adjustment knob. There you've got the adjustment knob. All up this side here you have the equivalent of this and these switches. I'll show it here and a bit bigger. And there's the readout, obviously. So this is £333, about $360, $370, with a foot pedal. What's not to like? The foot pedal for this costs £300, costing it. The foot pedal alone costs the same as this little welder, and it will do what it says on the tin. I think it's only people who are very experienced, doing very precision work, who would notice the difference between this and this. The big advantage of this is I can get it repaired. What you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get something very similar. Now in the box, they all seem to be the same. You get the basic welder, you don't get a regulator for the gas. Now if you've been looking at videos already, you know that with TIG you need an organ bottle. And for an organ bottle you need a regulator and a hose. With your TIG that you buy, you might or might not get a hose. I didn't get a hose with this, I bought it second hand. But you can just buy the hose anyway. They sell it on Amazon. Just buy a gas hose, it's fine. Or you can use clear plastic, which is what normally they seem to come with. They just use a plastic piece of clear plastic, like petrol pipe stuff. So you'll just get this, no regulator. You'll get a torch, that's your TIG torch. You'll get an earth clamp, and if you paid the money for it, you will get a foot pedal. Cheaper to buy the foot pedal with the welder than buy it later. So if I were you, I would buy a foot pedal, because I personally think that once you get used to TIGging, using a TIG, and get some idea about it, you'll find that this is great. This is great. They're just great. What can I say? They're just good. So there's my TIG foot pedal. Yes. So, once you get it, you're going to need a gas bottle, an argon bottle. When you buy the argon bottles, it's going to depend a lot on your country, where you live, how you can get an argon bottle. In the UK, we can either rent the bottle and pay rent on it every week, every month rather, or we can get them where they are. You pay a deposit, you get the bottle, you don't pay any more rent. They tend to be more expensive, but you know, they are cheaper if you're using small amounts, as in a hobby or a small business. If you're in a big business, you would rent a bottle because the gas is cheap, because you'll be using a lot of gas. Get the biggest bottle you can. Don't have any of those little tiny hobby bottles you get off Amazon. They're useless. You do actually use quite a lot of gas with argon, much more than you do, for instance, probably with MIG or oxyacetylene welding, where you know, bottles last ages. So go and see your supplier, get a decent sized bottle. The bigger the bottle, the more the deposit, but the more gas you get in. You're going to need a regulator. Here is a regulator. You need a flow meter, which is this little thing. You can get ones with two round gauges on. Don't get those, get these. It's much easier to set it. The gas is expensive, you don't want to be wasting it. Depending on your country will depend on the connection here. In the UK, this is the type of connection we have. The other one is what we call a beer bottle one. We call them beer bottle ones in the UK. And you might have those in your country of origin. So when you order your regulator, this is only cheap. This was only £20, $25 on Amazon. Works fine. Now we're going to move on to, here's a torch. Now with the torch, you're going to get a tungsten, which is this bit here. You're going to get some collets that hold the tungsten in place, which I'll show you. They'll come out at the back of the torch. These are the things. You're going to get some of these, probably 1.6 to 2.4 are the common sizes. So you're going to get that, maybe a tungsten or two tungstens if you're lucky. But they are consumable. You might get one or two shrouds. These are the shrouds. They go on there like that. And that holds the tungsten in place. But you're not going to get more than that. These are consumables. You're going to want to buy some of these. But I'm going to talk about that in another video. If you're just getting started, this will be fine. I'll talk about this later. These aren't particularly good torches. This is a very common torch. This is sold with quite high-end, some quite high-end TIG sets. The cheap sets have them, and the quite high-end ones do. And to me, it's not a good torch. I don't like how it feels. So I'm going to recommend you a better torch. It'll cost you hardly any money and might make it easier for you to learn. The other thing you're going to need is a head shield. Now, they always give you a head shield, but they are absolute garbage. They are. I can't show you the head shield, the type of head shield you get, because I have had them and thrown them away. Just put them straight in the bin, they're no good. So you're going to want to buy a good head shield, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. But you're going to need a head shield, you're going to need a regulator, you're going to need some welding rods. You'll be able to set up and weld something. It might not be the best experience, but you are ready to go and you could actually do something. Now, in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about some things that will make the learning experience better. Okay? That I think benefit you. Thanks for looking. Please subscribe down there, wherever it is.